but you ought to try something new. Cause you got a spot in a place that's hot and it likes to be tickled too. I got a wad to drop on your loading dock, deliveries and the rear. So buddy, let's play while the wife's away. Let me get you another beer. Let me pop you in the pooper, buddy, until I hear you squeal. If it hurts at first, that'll pass, and then you'll see how good it feels. Well, little doggy style, so get on your paws and turn around and kneel. Yeah, pop you in the pooper, buddy. Let's see how good that feels.
Hey freaks, it's Thursday, March 22nd, 2018. Coming up on the program today, go on a virtual date with a porn star who will fuck you if you're man or woman. Plus, why are my pussy lips fused together? Sucking toes at the mental hospital, and KO at the BK. All this but your voicemails today.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
I'm sorry, Tim can't come to the phone right now. He's masturbating in the bathroom.
Yeah! Tim Henson back here with you for the Thursday podcast, doing a show for everyone. Normally, Thursday's program would be Sideshow exclusive, but we got messed up early on in the week with all of my audio problems. Knock on wood, they're fixed. Yesterday's show that was Sideshow exclusive went off without a hitch. There was no dropped audio, no long stretches of silence, so let's hope this streak will continue. Hey, at the beginning of the show, you heard Pop You in the Pooper by Jeff Stryker. I'm just messing with you. I'm a little stinker. That silence was intentional. Yeah, we played Pop You in the Pooper. I've been playing that song for years. Jeff Stryker, of course, was a gay porn star. He's one of the few gay porn guys who kind of crossed over into straight porn later on. I'm not sure where in his career he tried his hand at music making. I'm guessing it was in between doing gay and straight porn. He at least knew who his audience was at that point, because all of the songs had to do with fucking. It's fuck rock. He invented a new genre. So the reason why I bring this up is because I found another song that Jeff Stryker recorded with his band, the Soggy Bottomed Boys. All very, like, country.
Son, come on over here and sit down.
A twang to it.
I got something to tell you.
This is What a Man Has to Do.
One night she caught me doing what a man has to do. I don't think she understood that, 'cause she packed and said we're through. Why men feel this need to do it, I don't really seem to know. It must be inbred in our instincts from a time so long ago.
So she left him for masturbating, or was he, like, fucking a guy? Like, what did she catch him doing?
Sometimes I'll do it with my posse, and damn near do it every night.
Yeah, gay shit.
But if you're living with a lady, you know there's bound to be a fight. 'Cause a guy can have some wild needs that a gal won't understand. If you can't bring them to a woman, you gotta take them to a man. It's a part.
Like I said, he really knows his audience. Think about the type of guy that would rent gay porn. It's either going to be like an out gay guy who would just pop you right in the pooper, or like a closeted man who's married. And that's who this song is for.
Tribal custom, one of which we have no choice. I can love her in the mornings, but give me nights out with the boys.
All right, there you go. That is What a Man Has to Do by Jeff Stryker. Not quite as catchy as Pop You in the Pooper, but still a solid B-side for Butt. But I poop from there. I love, as time goes on, that quote gets more and more exaggerated by me. But I poop from there. Sorry, so dumb. By the way, I'm recording this show with a iPhone that's down to 9%. I'm using it as a hotspot because our Wi-Fi isn't working. Lord Douche was having trouble setting it up properly. when we moved to the new house, our Netgear router stopped working, and he does this thing where he never buys anything new. So what happens is when that Netgear router goes bad, we have to go search the tri-state area for that same model, even though, we bought it 5-6 years ago. It's very hard to find this old model. And I mean, it was expensive at the time. It's still kind of pricey. It's almost $200 for this router, right? But anyway, so his move is to buy the same exact model, then return the broken one. And with routers, you got to be careful because sometimes some places will actually print the serial number of the router on the receipt, and you got to make sure everything matches. So we have to find a store that doesn't do that. Now, if this was me, I'm pretty freewheeling with my money. That's why I'm always in, financial disastrophe. But I would rather just buy something new, like a new model, be done with it. But no, we had to go scouring, Cincinnati trying to find this model. Anyway, so we got it, and we're having trouble setting it up. It was working yesterday, and then he changed his setting, and I can't get online. At first, I thought it was just my iPhone that was the issue, and the computers were working, but no. So I'm using my phone's LTE as a hotspot, in case you care. I'm sure you don't. It's just an interesting thing about Lord Douche, one of his many quirks. By the way, Costco is like heaven to him because Costco's return policy is if you bought it from Costco, you can return it, even if it's like 5 years later and it's dirty. You could return shoes, like worn-out shoes if you wanted to. Costco just doesn't care. It's worth the membership. I don't know how much it is, $50 or something. We've returned, I can't tell you how many dog beds we've returned to Costco that have been pissed on. Yeah, we're that trashy couple. I mean, have you ever, I don't know what it is with these dogs. Our dogs don't piss in the house, don't shit in the house. I don't know what it is with these dog beds, though. There's always an accident on them. And then, we'll take the hose, in odor ban or whatever, you spray it down, wash it, leave it out in the sun to dry. You just can't get the piss smell out of shit. So now it's Costco's problem. Ha ha ha! What were we talking about now? Oh, Jeff Stryker. Yeah, so Jeff Stryker made the successful transition from gay porn to straight porn. And I think it was a gradual thing. Kind of like Scott Taylor, the dickhole guy. He started out doing, ass-smashing gay sex, then caught the AIDS, and he continued to work in gay porn. I don't know if that's sad or admirable, but he could only do solo videos, and that's when he started doing more extreme stuff. Extreme! By the way, I don't even know if what I'm saying is true. This could be slander. I got all my information from Joey at some point. Joey, though, at one point was just a student of porn history. He knew a lot. I think there were some other sources, too. But anyway, so Jeff Stryker doesn't have HIV or AIDS, as far as I know, but he made the transition to doing straight porn. But in between, I think he did some solo work. One of these pieces is up on YouTube. I will link to it on today's show notes, and I'll post it in our Discord. By the way, if you're not in our Discord, meet and chat with other freaks. There's a link on distortedview.com. It's a great way to be a part of the community, whatever community this is. Anyway, this video is entitled Just You and Me, and it's one of those VHS tapes where it's like you're on a date with Jeff Stryker. I think it's for like lonely spinster women. Good evening. Welcome to Castle Stryker. Well, the beginning of this sounds like a funeral. Oh, here we are, Jeff Stryker in a suit, bringing us some champagne with his mullet. Insert heavy breathing. He sounds like one of those zombies from The Walking Dead. That's how you know they're closed, right?
Couldn't wait to come home to you. Got a little present, huh?
He can't even talk in complete sentences. Present for you!
It's been a long day. Long, hard day.
He makes a lot of, like, loud, bassy noises. Not right now, you know. And I bet you he could do a great line reading of that.
Had a long, hard day.
Get it?
Just kept thinking about you all day long. Thinking about getting home. Looking at your pretty ass.
Is this a royalty-free version of Tubular Bells?
My hands through your hair.
What? He's taking off his tie, trying.
I miss you. Bad.
How is he going to sustain this for 7 minutes? He's being pretty vague, too, with, like, the description. Look at you and your pretty ass.
I want you so fucking bad. So what do you think? You like what you see?
Jeff Stryker fishing for compliments here.
Do you want me as bad as I want you?
Yeah, until I heard your music. That was a bit of a turnoff.
Oh, I want you to fucking hold me.
Is that something straight guys say? I want you to hold me, make me feel safe. Let me fast forward here. I'm thinking this was, like, marketed to both men and women because he's being so vague.
I want you to love me. Make love to me and fucking love me. Oh, every fucking inch of me. I want you to love every fucking inch. Oh, I want you to fucking touch me. And fucking
Guys, I want you to use this line in your next love-making session.
feel me.
Feel me.
My fucking cock. Ooh. All night I've been thinking of just fucking poking you with this big old fucking cock.
The music's getting, like, louder.
Oh, fuck, I'm so fucking horny. Come on. Why don't you help me get off, huh? You want me to take my pants off?
I can't even hear him. The music is so loud. Like, I couldn't hear him when the music was low. He kind of looks like Donald Trump Jr. So if you've ever fantasized about him, got news for you. 80s Jeff Stryker is right up your alley. Your greasy shit shoot alley.
My big fucking cock. Oh, yeah. Fuck. I want to make love.
Is greasyshitshoot.com taken? I know a lot of domains aren't available anymore. I have to think Greasy Shit Shoot might be the one that's still up for grabs. Someone nab that.
Oh,
What, Jeff?
loved you so fucking good.
His pants are almost completely off. Can almost see his dick.
Oh, I want you to be with me. Fucking make love to me.
That's hot. Hot sounds coming from his mouth. Pubes! I see pubes! And then the video stops. Wow. Gave us a couple seconds of treetop. That was the end of part 1. I have no idea if there's a part 2. I can't stomach it today. I will provide a link on the show notes if you want to be seduced by Jeff Stryker on YouTube. Moving on now. I've got a clip here of another confrontation at Burger King. This is nothing new. It's also not a repeat. There are just lots of unhappy customers at Burger King. The customer is out of line. He's a white guy, and he's got one of those, like, leg boots. What are those things called? Like when you sprain your leg and you got to wear that contraption, or maybe it's a broken leg or some fracture. I don't know. Anyway, he's limping around, but he's still an asshole, and he walks up to the counter, pushes, like, the cash register off of it. Like, he's just upset. Obviously, he got French fries when he specifically ordered onion rings. We've all been there. And then he gets handsy with one of the employees. Like, he pushes one of the employees. And once you touch another person, all bets are off, right? So, the employee gets physical back. Let's listen here from the beginning.
Hey, spray that shit, bitch. Come on over here, you fat ass. Bitch,
That's the employee. This is before, I'm sorry, not the employee. This is the customer before the employees intervene.
Bitch, want some fucking shit? You ain't got shit, bitch. Suck my dick. Oh, man.
Yeah, just pushing stuff. Now he's talking to one of the employees, and they're getting in each other's faces. Now, the employee's not touching the customer. So the customer there pushes the Burger King employee, and in return, some punches are thrown, which I think is well within his right.
Babe, get out of the way, honey.
Now the guy, the customer with the one gimp leg, is officially down on the ground. Now that's really where it should end, right? But now other employees decide to take advantage of the situation. They're like, yeah, this customer was a dick to me too. I'm going to whip out my taser. So one employee now, this is a different employee, has him pinned down with his shoe, right? He's got his shoe on this customer's head. Sounds like Jeff Stryker, right?
Come on, do it again. Come on, left up.
Here comes another employee with her taser, trying to tase his butt crack, it looks like.
Be careful. Hey.
There's a third employee bitch slapping him. The woman with the taser is kicking him and also tasing him again. Treat you like this.
Get out of here now! Skip!
Okay, I think show's over there. I'll put a link on the show notes to this video as well, because you really have to see it. Finally, before we get into the news today, I have never been to a chiropractor. I don't fear it. I get why some people might be squeamish. I mean, this guy's gonna be like popping your back and shit. This woman is petrified. She's going to the chiropractor, and she's wailing the entire time. He's not even doing anything. He's got his hand on her lower back. Just sort of feeling around. Now, I don't think that was her back popping. I think that was like the bed.
We had to get this on film. There it is.
Maybe it was her back.
How long have you...
That's what my dog sounds like when I leave her alone.
I've got a patient here. It's been like 30 years. 20 years.
This goes on for 7 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me just fast forward to like the 3-minute mark. See if she calms down at all.
Like it wasn't giving out or anything?
There's so many things you need to pop and press on me.
There we go.
Okay, enough.
Oh God, now he's lifting up her leg.
What are you doing now?
There it is. Wow, your knee was off. Was it bugging you?
No.
Guys, are chiropractors for real? Is it bullshit?
No, it was.
I hear conflicting things.
Oh, no, my bad.
Okay.
Okay, one more. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we just have to get the right shoulder back.
Oh, I hate this
You
one.
love this one.
No, you bruised me.
Wow, this could be a porn too. Everything could be a porn if you just use your imagination. All right, and with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre, twisted up, fucked up news right now. Today's episode of Distorted View Daily is brought to you by AdamandEve.com, home to almost 20,000 adult products, and we're not just talking about movies. Oh, I wonder if there are any Jeff Stryker titles. You'll have to do a search and get back to me on that one. Adam and Eve also has toys for boys and girls. That makes it sound like children's toys. They do not stock children. Don't purchase anything for a kid at adamandeve.com. Some dildos might be acceptable as chew toys for dogs, but nothing for toddlers. Go to Toys R Us's bankruptcy sale or whatever, liquidation. They also have condoms, lube. I'm talking about Adam and Eve now, not Toys R Us. How great would it be if Adam and Eve purchased the assets and the name Toys R Us? Boy, that would confuse consumers for a few years. Come on, kids, let's go to Toys R Us. Ah! Daddy, what's a stroke master? I don't know, I'm getting off track. They also have, lingerie, even underwear for, women and men. Yes, sexy guy underwear. If it's sexual in nature, Adam and Eve has you covered. Oh, they also have, games, sexy games you can play, strip Monopoly or something. I don't know. Check it all out. Go to adamandeve.com. Pick out something you like. Add it to your cart. Use coupon code FREAK. F-R-E-A-K. When you do, you'll get that item for half off, 50% off. In addition, you'll also receive 3 free adult movies and a sex swing. If you really want to spice things up, all of that's going to be sent to you free of charge. No shipping charges whatsoever. That's part of that coupon code FREAK. Again, let's recap. 50% off just about any item you pick out. You get some movies for free. You get a sex swing for free and free shipping. It's an awesome deal. Go to adamandeve.com. Use coupon code FREAK. All right, 3 quick stories, then we'll get the hell out of here. Oh, and this first one has a wonderful headline. Cop sucked suicidal man's toes and sexually assaulted him at the hospital. On one hand, sexually assaulting someone could make a depressed man even more depressed. But what if he's depressed and suicidal because he's not receiving enough affection and love from someone? This may just be the greatest romance in the history of time. I know what you're saying, Tim. Sexual assault is not the same as love, but it's close enough. Sometimes you gotta take what you can get, okay? You hear that? Sexual assault victims. Let's start acting like the glass is half full. All right. A man who was being held by police on a misdemeanor charge was sexually assaulted twice by one of his guards while he was at the hospital on February 3rd. Oh, right before Valentine's Day. Now, Officer Carlisle Calhoun, 46, a 10-year vet of the police force, faces multiple charges in the alleged assault. Police were hiding an unnamed suspect for a misdemeanor charge when he began saying he was suicidal, leading Calhoun and another officer to drive him to a local hospital for a psych eval. With the suspect chained to the bed and the other officer away eating food, Calhoun allegedly began giving the man relationship advice before massaging the victim's feet and sucking his toes. Are you sure this was unwanted? This sounds like, a budding relationship. They're talking, expressing their feelings, sharing intimate details about their lives. Of course it's going to lead to toe sucking. By the way, Carl Calhoun is a black police officer, and I don't want to be racist here. So whatever's coming next is going to be very, very racist. No, but is toe sucking a black thing? We talked about this before, or I've asked this before. I don't think I got a satisfactory response from you freaks. I mean, I know there are white people who like to shrimp, but I'm always hearing about black people doing it. I think it's a black thing. Well, what happened after the toe sucking? It progressed. He allegedly grabbed the restrained man's genitals, pulled out his phone, and snapped a picture. That's according to Assistant State Attorney Ahmed Kosako. The other officers returned, and Calhoun then escorted the man to the bathroom. In the restroom, oh no, the officer allegedly performed oral sex on the suspect, to protest, by the way, before they returned to the hospital. Things are moving too fast. It's okay that you sucked my toes, but sucking my dick? We haven't even really been on a date. I wouldn't call this a date. I'm getting evaluated for my psychiatric well-being. Although, what a story this would be for our grandkids. When the officers left, the victim reported what happened, and sample swabs were taken that contained DNA matching Calhoun's. Calhoun was stripped of his police powers when police first learned of the allegations and placed in a desk job. He was not formally charged until Tuesday, though. He was order held on a $200,000 bond, charged with aggravated criminal sexual assault and official misconduct. He will now be suspended without pay. Calhoun's attorney said the officer was well respected. That's not a defense for what you did. helps care for his elderly mother, again, not a defense, and performed a high-pressure negotiation with a knife-wielding man last year. Like, that's great. That's wonderful things. But it has nothing to do with this toe-sucking, dick-swallowing night at the mental hospital we're talking about here. All right, second story we have for you today. This one just happens to come from our most fucked up state. Sing it with me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Praise Jesus. Give me a hallelujah. That Oklahoma, Florida is our most fucked up state. Chapter in
Florida is our most fucked up state. Praise be to the Lord.
After all these years, I still get a kick out of Corey pretending to be a fat woman singing the song. Story comes from Jacksonville, Florida. All right, listen. We've gone over this many times. I've given so much advice to potential sex offenders. 1, don't download child porn. That's important. But if you are going to, you're going to want to encrypt that shit. Don't share it on your network. And most of all, if you're a police, don't look at it in your police car. A former Florida police sergeant, like, of course, this is Florida, right? A former Florida police sergeant was sentenced to 120 years in federal prison for making and possessing child porn. I will say this. Anyone can view child porn. This guy was at least out there creating something. He was a content creator. I can respect that. He learned video editing, maybe color grading. I mean, he had some skills. I mean, I haven't seen any of his work, but he obviously put some time into his craft here. Although I will say this, like, if there were... I'm just sorry. Sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be. I shouldn't say what I'm about to say, even though I'm just joking around. But like, so if I was going to become a director, maybe child porn is the way to go because people aren't so critical of your work. You know what I mean? We've all seen shitty movies. The camera's all shaky. The color is off. Directors and cinematographers are criticized all the time, harshly. Typically, though, you don't hear about child porn directors facing the same criticism. It could be all blurry, grainy, out of focus. As long as you can sort of see what's going on, the subject of the film, if you know what I mean. Perverts are typically happy with the video. I'm just saying, if I wanted to go the easy route, breaking into directing, that is one option. Now, I'm not even thinking about the ethics of it. I'm just talking about the mechanics, I guess. I don't know. All right, U.S. District Judge Timothy Corrigan on Thursday sentenced former Live Oak Police Sergeant Kyle Adam Kirby after a jury found him guilty of producing, possessing, and accessing images of child sexual abuse. Federal prosecutors say the 37-year-old Kirby used his patrol car's computer to download child porn. Like, how idiotic could you be? Like, of course this is all going to be tracked. Dating back to December 2014, it took a while for the cops to crack down on their fellow officer. They also say Kirby used concealed cameras to film unsuspecting minors and transferred the pictures to his police computer. Prosecutors say he later tried to delete them. Like, you can do all this stuff, right? You can use your patrol car computer to download porn, use concealed cameras to film, but you couldn't figure out how to delete the videos. Live Oak Police Chief Alton. That's the first thing you should learn. Like, if you are going to be downloading questionable material from the internet, the first thing you should do before you even download that first video or picture is read all about how to properly delete shit, because it's going to come in handy. It's a skill you're going to want to learn. I give so much great advice to these people. Live Oak Police Chief Alton Buddy Williams said in a statement that Kirby was a trusted friend who betrayed the public and his family. So there you go. Florida at it again. And finally today, freaks, women who have lost their sex drive, I've got some even more bad news for you. Your pussy lips may be glued together. Yeah, I would check that immediately. Try to peel those meaty curtains back. A woman's labia has fused together due to a lack of sex after menopause. Ooh, the Japanese woman. I've got sounds for everything. The Japanese woman was pissing out of a pinhole. Hello. These fucking autoplay videos. I mean, it was great music, but Jesus. I even have ad block on. I guess this isn't an ad. It's part of the news story. Isn't Google Chrome supposed to block these autoplay videos soon? Maybe I just don't have the newest version. Anyway, sorry about that. The Japanese woman was pissing out of a pinhole and had a buildup of urine, oh no, in her vagina because she wasn't able to get rid of it all when she went to the toilet. But she claims she hadn't experienced any pain or discomfort, which is why she hadn't raised the issue with the doctor. Her condition only became apparent during a PET scan. She was getting the scan for her esophageal cancer. Well, no wonder she's not worried about the pissing. She's got way bigger problems. The scan picked up an abnormal reading around the 76-year-old's genitalia. Oh, she's 76. Who cares? Let that thing seal up. That would be cool if it was an evolutionary thing. All of a sudden, at a certain age, women's pussies just vacuum seal shut. And as for guys, I guess their penis would just shrivel up and fall off. The scan picked up an abnormal reading around the 76-year-old's genitalia, and further investigation revealed her labia had fused together. The woman had given birth vaginally twice, like 50 years ago, and had no history of infection or pelvic trauma, two common causes of labial fusion. Oh, damn, now I don't know what to name today's episode of DV. It was going to be Greasy Shit Chute, and now I'm leaning towards labial fusion, which sounds like some sort of, progressive rock genre. I just think, if people listen to Distorted View Daily in their car, typically now cars have those beautiful, big, 8-inch displays, and if you play a podcast, it'll have in huge font the name, the title of the episode, scrolling across the screen. That is why I've decided today's episode will be titled Greasy Shit Chute. All right, gynecologists believe her condition caused by a lack of the female sex hormone estrogen would have been picked up sooner had the woman been having sex. She's all dry down there. Inspection of her external genitalia showed that her clit was normal in size, and the labia majora and anus were visualized. I'm visualizing it right now. However, the urethral meatus and vagina orifice were not seen on careful inspection of her vulva, the report in the Journal of Medical Case Reports said. On palpation of her external genitalia, there was a pinhole opening at the midpoint between her clit and anus. Doctors inserted a catheter to drain the excess urine and used an estrogen cream to help restore her vagina. So you could just slather on estrogen cream and the pussy lips just opened up again. That's pretty cool. Labial fusion occurs when the small inner lips around the entrance to the vagina become sealed together. In some cases, it can completely seal the opening to the vagina. It's not clear what causes the condition, but it's hilarious. It's often thought to be the result of an inflammation around the vagina called vaginitis. A lack of estrogen, which occurs during menopause, can also cause the vulva to become sticky, meaning the lips can stick together and gradually become fused. I feel like proper hygiene would prevent that from happening, right? If you've got a sticky vulva, some soap and water might help out. Fucking old broads don't know how to wash their pussies. Menopause is caused by a decline in the female sex hormones, which can cause vaginal burning during sex. God, you poor women. You've got so many issues down there you have to worry about. The lack of estrogen can also cause the muscular walls of the vagina to begin to waste away. This condition is known as vaginal atrophy. Oh my God! Increasing blood flow to your nether regions. Oh, Kegels. Or when you climax, can help things in working order. So, any of you aging lady freaks, work that pussy right. All right, there you go. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Thursday. Let's do a couple voicemails to get the hell out of I don't know what happened there. So sorry. Love to hear from you guys. 206-666-4463. That's our voicemail line. We also have a special line for my patrons. If you pledge a few dollars over there at our Patreon account, patreon.com/distortedview, you get a special phone number. And the first voicemail I'm going to play today is actually from a patron. Let's see what this guy has to
Tim,
say.
Haley's Comet.
Oh, Haley's Comet. Okay.
Calling in to weigh in on the Lord Douche naming debate.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully this won't become a big voicemail wars thing. But anyway, I'm comfortable with the name Lord Douche. I think it's funny. I think it's amusing. It's clearly an in-joke between the two of you and was before it bled onto the show.
Yeah.
But if you do decide
Yeah, everyone seems to be okay with that name except for one person so far.
change his name, I would like to suggest Sammy. As a reference, as a slightly pervy reference for the longer-term DV fans, to that video you made ages ago where you woke up with a big black cock. And you tried to call for help, and they thought it was a prank call, and then the picture of Sammy Davis Jr. on your wall started talking to you, saying that you have his cock now.
You got my cock now. Oh, wow, that is a very old reference.
And I think that would be a funny joke because, well,
I can't believe I actually walked in to a adult store and I bought a big black cock.
You're getting Lord Douche's cock on a regular basis. At least I hope you are. So using a name like Sammy or Davis or some portion of Sammy Davis Jr. would kind of be an in-joke.
All right. I think My BBC is the name of that video, and I think it's still up on Vimeo if you want to find it. It's kind of cringeworthy at this point. I hate that old, it's like, just me doing something stupid, which is pretty much what I continue to do. Hey, speaking of that, the naming thing, DV listener Mark came in with some new names for Lord Douche if we decide to change it. Daddy Douche and Sissy Fag. I don't like either of those. If you do keep using Lord Douche, I could be Lady Douche. And the Cincinnati house could be Douche Manor. I do like the name Douche Manor. I need to get like one of those plaques I can put out on the door in the front yard or something. Welcome to Douche Manor.
So good, Timmy Boo. It's Florida Man.
Wow.
Sorry.
Haley's Comet, Florida Man.
I'm a little congested. I'm not well.
This voicemail segment is pissing off a lot of listeners
today. But I was listening to your January 12th show.
Wow, you're a little behind. You're behind, and then this voicemail is from February 8th.
And you were talking about how in anime, the characters will simply have long stretches of time where they just make grunting noises and or say just names.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually a pretty good reason for that.
Okay, yeah, school me on this. I've been wondering about this for a long time.
So the Japanese language and the American language are two completely different things.
Thank you.
It really doesn't require...
Wow, you're really dumbing this down for me.
Language.
You mean Japanese people and Americans don't talk the same? Thank you.
So the Japanese language and the American language are two completely different things. It really doesn't...
You people really think I'm retarded, don't you?
...require a rocket science degree
right.
to identify that.
Yes.
As such, they have different syllabic structures and things like that.
By the way, that was Google translated to they have different salami structure.
That.
I was wondering where he was going with that when I read the transcript here.
So what might take you and I a moment to say, hello, my name is Florida Man, might take a Japanese person double the time because they're saying extra words, things like that. So when these cartoons are created in their native language, they're created with the intent of matching up with Japanese. However, when that translates over to English, there's a lot of blank space where the English words are done being spoken. So they have to fill that gap somehow.
Yeah, but I also watch some anime that is in Japanese, right? That just that has subtitles. And in the Japanese version, they still make all these weird guttural noises.
So they do this by repeating names.
Counterpoint.
Having characters yell something for an extended period of time, or even just making grunting sounds so that the American audience knows that they're still there. So yeah, that was it. Just wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It might take the Japanese language, it might take 2 seconds to say what they're going to say, and it might take longer or a shorter amount of time to basically say the same thing in English, and they have to sort of compensate with, either looping the mouth in the animation, or if there's an extra space in the animation, by making some sort of other noise. But again, I'm pretty sure I've watched anime in Japanese where they make those noises too.
God damn it, Tim. No, it's not your fault. It's fucking Apple iOS's 11 podcast client. It is an evil piece of shit. Somehow, I wanted to remove what I thought was a podcast from my library, because I listened to it, and it wasn't being deleted. It somehow removed your show.
No!
It's like unsubscribed, so I've been sitting around. I figured, with your house moving and stuff, you just couldn't click up a show or any fucking thing. And then I went in and looked. No, your show doesn't appear, and I think I'm still subscribed, so I'm going to have to figure out how to fucking fix this. And at least it hasn't done what it's done to the No Agenda show. That one, it decides to just randomly unsubscribe me from it.
That's weird, yeah. Well, the easiest way, again, if you're a Sideshow member, is to subscribe to superfreaksideshow.com. What is it? /feed? Is that what it is? I thought I made it very, very easy for you guys. Yeah, I think it's superfreaksideshow.com /feed, and then it'll ask you for your username and password that way. Apple, iTunes, or the podcast app works really well that way. So you don't have to put in your username and password into the feed anymore. If you just put superfreaksideshow.com /feed, try to subscribe to that, it'll pop up asking you for a username and password. That, in theory, should work. Again, though, if it's a weird problem with the Apple Podcast app, I don't know. Don't know what to tell you there. Good luck, my friend. That is all the time we have on this edition of the show. Want you guys to email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-660-GOD. Is it God?
All night I've been thinking of just fucking poking you with this big old fucking cock.
Spread the distortion, STD. Tell all your friends about the show. Don't forget to rate us and review us on iTunes. Tomorrow's program will be Sideshow exclusive, so if you're not yet a member, consider signing up. It's very inexpensive, helps me out. This is how I make my living. I need you freaks now more than ever. Superfreaksideshow.com. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Take it easy. I already know what's been going on. I knew it all along. So just take it easy. You acted surprised and I just rolled my eyes. It's gonna be alright. Just so we're straight and you don't get the wrong impression. Don't need a silly little overdue confession. Just remember when you're over at his house undressing, he's just another sucker who's about to learn a lesson.